All right, friends, it's T-Man. We're back with our good friend, the Nacho Plan. Our man, the Nacho Plan. Yes, we're gonna react to his video he just uploaded, bro. I just caught this now. So I'm gonna do a reaction to his video. So the Nacho Plan says eccentric overload push day plus OHP PR. All right.
Nacho, and we are going to be going over my upper body day for today. I was doing eccentric, accentuated dips with 5 plates. I'm able to control it a lot better. My descent is a lot more controlled, and I am pausing it at the bottom now. So, still sticking with 5 plates for now, as it is still above my 1 rep max, but I'm controlling it a lot better. Adding that pause just to put my muscles under more of a stretched tension. You know what I'm saying? So instead of just rushing through the reps like I did before, that pause makes a big ass difference, as I felt the damage pretty much right away after that first set.
You're looking pretty good right here. Damn. That's still a lot of weight. Yeah, you're definitely going to feel a lot of damage there. I wrote you in your comment section. So, one of the suggestions I made now is time to focus on eating after your damaging sessions. Here's the thing, that thing when they say in science, they say protein synthesis needs to exceed this breakdown to see that mass on the muscle, to see that mass, okay? To visually see that mass. That's why, bro, it really is right after your damaging session. That is the most important time to eat. That's why I used to schedule my workout. I would do a damaging session in the gym, and then I would race down to this buffet. I knew they were open at 11:30, and then I would eat all the way to, like, I think it was 4. They were practically open till 5 or something, I think, or I can't remember, 4 or something like that, 4:30. So I would eat from 11:30 all the way to like 4 or 4:30. Yeah, I would leave there when it was already closing for lunch. So that's a lot. I would have like a whole bowl of like these chicken that was at the time. I would eat like a whole bowl of chicken wings, then maybe another bowl of chicken wings. Then I'd have like this stir fried beef, then more steak, and then I would have like they had like some seafood stuff there. I had more seafood. Then I would have like a whole bowl of like shrimps, and then yeah, I would just eat a lot of protein down there. Plus, I did eat some carbohydrates when I was there at those days at the time. Because we're talking about a Chinese buffet I would go down to that was not far away from where I was working out. So yeah, I would eat like 1 or 2 bowls of fruit afterward. And at the time I might even have some ice cream. But you got to understand, at that time, I wasn't really just doing like all meat, whatever. You can go to a buffet and try to eat all the best food that you can. I'm not saying you should not eat some carbohydrates while you're there, especially after a damaging session. The rest of the week, you can eat absolutely as healthy as possible. But after a damaging session, bro, you need to eat a lot to grow those muscles. They're in an apoptosis right now. They've been damaged or in apoptosis, whatever. You need to eat a lot. That's where you maximize the most amount of gains, is right after the damaging session. Think about that for a second. See what I mean? So really, at this point in stage of your lifting, you're really good at lifting and going to the gym, even damaging these muscles. But to actually grow them, to grow these myofibrillars, which is really astronomically hard to grow myofibular growth. Trust me. Bro, it is really hard to grow myofibrillars. A lot of people, they are not growing that they're not growing. They're not growing those things. Really, after your workout, you've got to eat horrendous amounts of food. And even when you go to sleep, before you go to sleep, you got to eat a lot. After the buffet, I would still keep eating, even in the nighttime before I went to sleep. That is the most important time. Then the rest of the week you keep eating, because you're still in a repair and a remodeling. You understand me? So the rest of the week you just keep eating the way you stay in a positive nitrogen balance, keep eating, and when you come back the following week, you should see some gains on the scale too. You'll see more gains on the scale.
And I did a bunch of dip sets. I don't remember how much I did. I just kept going.
In other words, the eating is actually more important than the breaking your body down in the gym. It's the eating that's going to make you bigger and stronger when you come back. When you come back to the gym, because of the way you were eating, is going to make you bigger and stronger. It's not the damaging and the weights that are going to make you bigger and stronger. It's the way you eat. Remember, you're spending more time in a repair and a remodeling and eating than you are in the gym just busting your body down. Yeah.
Until I couldn't do 5 plates anymore. Then I dropped down a plate, and then I would do that until I couldn't do 4 plates anymore. And then I'll drop until I did 3 plates until I couldn't do 3 plates anymore.
That's a good idea. That's the reason why we go higher up in reps. If we go higher in weight, we usually stop at 8 repetitions. You don't want to go lower than that. So you go as high as 8 with a really, really heavy. And if you have to go down in weight, you go higher in reps. So you're going from 8, 9, 10, 11 to 12. That's how it usually works. But because some guy asked me, I can't remember, somebody asked me the other day about that. What about these reps? Why 8 to 12? Well, there's a reason for everything in lifting. It's your experience really teaches you that. You know that if you're going astronomically heavy, really heavy, it's hard to kind of get to 12, but it's a little bit easier to get to 8. So we want to make it to 8. Why do we want to make it to 8? Because we still want to get these micro tears. So a heavy weight, 8 reps, is usually conducive for these micro tears. Now, why 12? Well, I'm not saying if you can lift a very heavy weight to make it to 12. Yeah, I think people should try to make it to 12. Okay, but here's the thing: the rule is if you're going down, if we are always trying to go heavier. So if we're trying to go heavier, we're moving down. We're moving down in reps. That's what usually happens. But we make it for 8 reps. Okay, at the heaviest weight that we can manage. But if we are going down in weight, which is still heavy, then we're moving for higher repetition work. That's all. Because the myofibrillar is going to need more work to get these micro tears because there's a reduction in the overload. There's a reduction in load, okay? That's really how it works, yeah.
Here we go. It's a OHP PR. This is right after my brutal dip session. So,
and I'm going to say that is fantastic, dude, especially after the session that you just put in and you PR'd that. That's crazy. Can imagine if you're fresh when you come in the gym how you'd be. That's really good. I mean, dude, you are super strong. Trust me. These people in the gym, believe me, they're eyeing you.
Try to do it fresh next week. I'm pretty sure I could do 205, maybe 210, but we'll see what happens. Now we're just doing 205 for eccentric overload reps. I was trying to like press it up all the way to the top, but I couldn't, man. My triceps were cooked already, so.
All right, you're doing really well. Holy shit, bro. Trust me. These damaging sessions, the more you accumulate more of these micro tears, the weaker you become. Remember, you have to get weaker to get stronger, like it says in NCBI, like they tell you. They even tell you that. You got to get weaker to get stronger. It's kind of obvious. Your experience even teaches you that. You know that. Again, that's where that rule applies, the 8 to 12 repetition rule. See what I mean? So when you can't manage that anymore, you really want to you're shooting for 8 as heavy as you could go. Now, if you can't manage it, then you're going from 8 to 12. That's what happens.
Yeah, man. OHP is getting pretty strong. I can't wait till I get close to 225. Hopefully I get there. We'll see. I just want to do something different with my chest as well. So I'm doing some wide grip lengthened partials with 2 plates. After those dips and OHP, man, this shit felt heavy as hell. So I did a bunch of these sets, probably close to 10 sets of these.
That's pretty good, man. It's like this study. People just don't understand these studies. Like they have a study a while back. Remember, there was a study, this scientist thing, and they were talking on stage. They were talking about people doing lightweight, right, high repetition, and people doing heavyweight, low repetition. The people that did the lightweight, high repetition got just the same amount of strength and gains as the people doing heavy, low repetition work. Why is that? And they were just doing the same workout sessions. Why is that? Well, because higher repetition, lighter weight, but there was more work applied. That's the difference. There was less work, higher load. There's higher work, low load. See the difference?
And I was, hitting my upper chest with some incline fly presses, length and partial. So, man, if you do these, you could feel a big ass stretch on your upper pecs, man. And I'm trying to add a pause in that.
Upper pec fly. I gotta show you. I gotta show you a guy doing a fly for an example. Hold on a second. All right. So here's an example of a way you can maximize the fly. I mean, you could try this with dumbbells, maybe tie it with a chain. I don't know, but whatever. Regardless, so he's using a cable machine. Okay, because it's going to be a lot easier using the cable machine. So this is how you maximize doing flies for your chest, because you could never go that heavy if it's like this construction site. They have this, this thing sticking over, picking up stuff, whatever. Yeah. So the weights, you're not using your hands. Okay, it would be all the way extended. You couldn't go that heavy. So this is the way to go, really super heavy, and it's a lot safer. It's safer. You could go really heavy, and it's a lot safer to have these bands around your elbows, just like the thing I talked about before for your lats. Remember, you're using your lats. You're using the part of your arm where up to your elbow, and you're pressing up and down, pulling up and down. Same thing. This applies the same thing because why? Because it's a very short range of motion. You don't need a lot there, but if you need to maximize a load for this exercise on your chest, this is the way to do it. A lot of people, they don't realize that. They can't fathom that. But there are a few intelligent people online. They do understand, Eventually they catch on, and their experience teaches them that. Like this guy, for example, he's got an interesting channel, but he doesn't know what he's doing. But in this case, this exercise, he did show these. He just showed these recently, actually. Oh shit, where did that go? All right, I don't know where that went now, but whatever. So I'm getting rid of that. So she's been showing these recently, okay? Sorry about that. Hold on a second. Like I said, so that guy has been showing this kind of exercise recently. So he's been showing those, and he even showed the one now with the lat, like what I was talking about before. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So that it just gives you an idea how to do it. All right. So some people, they may not know, and now I guess they know. Okay. Anyway, let's continue with this video. It's gonna take forever.
Then I was, hitting my upper chest with some incline fly presses, length and partial. So, man,
Yeah. See how you're using, you got the weight on the top of your arm, and you're using your elbow, your arm area in a short range of motion to try to fly it. You're that's why I showed that exercise. So you can try and do that, but you're gonna have to buy these straps for that, eh? So you can do that, or you can do it the way you're doing it. There's nothing wrong with this, what you're doing now, short range of motion with a heavy dumbbell pushing up and down. There's nothing wrong with that. You can keep it very to the side of your body. Keep it very to the side of your body and up and down. Same thing. Same thing would be pretty much the same thing.
You do these, you could feel a big ass stretch
Yes.
on your upper pecs, man. And I'm trying to add a pause in that lengthened portion just to accumulate more damage, man. So here we go. We got some JM presses. I added 10 pounds from last week, and this is gonna be my form. It looks a little weird, but trust me, man. You guys do this, you guys will kill your triceps, man. So I did a bunch of these sets, and my goal, you guys already know, is to destroy my triceps, shoulders, and chest, man. So we'll see what happens in the next few months, man. I can't wait to see what my strength comes out, to see what I'm able to do.
You've got very good form, I gotta tell you, man. In all the exercises, you really have figured it out. Because I know a lot of people, they just have not figured it out. Even the dumbbells, the way you were holding them, using them to get the stretch there, you figured it out. It's a short range of motion. It really is only from where the elbow is and your arm going up and down. But if you try to fly them, you'll never fly that. It's impossible to fly it. See what I mean? Because it's just the way you couldn't manage because your arm is too weak. Between the elbow area and to your hand, it would be too weak to fly that. It would be just crazy. Nobody can fly 100-pound dumbbells. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, that was very intelligent.
I'll start benching soon too, just to get back that that strength. You know what I'm saying? So I'll see you guys later. Peace.
That was really good, man. That was a great video, dude. I really enjoyed this video. Shit, hold on a second. Sorry about that. I really enjoyed that video, dude. That was a good video. Like I said, if I were you, I would focus now on eating. The damaging sessions, they're really good, but the eating is so important, bro. It is a training. Trust me, it is a training to eat, to expand your stomach, to take in more food, to get bigger and stronger. It's the whole idea. Otherwise, you would have wasted your session if you don't put in a real marathon when it comes to eating. Yeah. It really is kind of like a marathon eating. Think about that for a second. Can you imagine? I used to go into a buffet 11:30 and I would leave like around 4:30 or something from there. Wow, that's longer than running in a marathon for some people. The shortest is like 2 hours, these professionals they run. So yeah, some people, they make it in 4 hours. I'm still eating. All right, man. I'll see you in the next one. That was a great video. Thanks for uploading that. Friends, you want to go over to my friend here, the Nacho Plans channel. You want to like and subscribe to the video. It really helps with the algorithm so he can post more of these videos. And comment down below. Tell me what you think about that, friends. All right. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao. Very good video. Great form, dude. See you in the next one. Ciao.